welcome to 5 and Drive. I'm here with my sister Kim. Kim, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about the sand. I chose you because you can actually get out of the sand. You don't really have that much of a mental block with the sand, but most people have a terrible mental block with the sand. They feel like they'd rather be outside the sand trap in, knee-high rough than be in the sand trap. But the reverse happens with golf professionals. Sometimes they will dump it in the sand intentionally rather than have to be hitting out of heavy rough.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the reason being is it's much easier to spin the ball if done properly out of the sand trap.
Okay.
So that's our goal today, to give you 5 tips to get out of the sand well each time.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing is we want to have the proper setup. I'm going to draw a line to the target. So that's my target line. Now, when I set my feet up, I'm going to set it up, my left foot up just outside a parallel line, a perpendicular line rather, to the target line, and my left foot's just on the outside, so the ball is being played forward in my stance.
Okay.
I'm going to widen my stance unusually wide, and the reason for that is I don't want to chop down on that ball. I want this to be a very shallow swing.
Okay.
I'm going to open my stance. So basically my body's aiming left. Now, I'm also going to open my club. So the fact that the club's open and my feet are open will help me to hit that ball straight.
Okay.
We need this club open because if it's not open, the club's going to come in and it's going to hit the sand, and the face of the club is going to push the sand too far out. We want this ball going up in the air.
Okay.
So by opening it up, what's happening is I'm actually sliding the club under the ball, and the sand now is getting pushed up into the sky.
Okay.
Remember, we never actually touch the ball. What we're doing is we're hitting sand onto the green. Okay, second thing is we want to draw an island. The easiest way to practice hitting good sand shots is to draw an island. You see how I've drawn an island here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take the ball out in the middle of the island. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a lot of time hitting this island onto the green. Okay, I don't want to look at the middle of the island. I want to look at the back of the island because that's really where I want that club to enter. So when I'm done, this whole entire island needs to be up on that green. Okay, I spread my feet apart, I set my feet up open, and I put my weight on my left foot. My hands are forward, and now all I'm going to do is I'm going to stand here, I'm going to take swings, hitting the island onto the green. See how that entire island is done.
Okay.
I'm going to do that again. I'm going to draw an island here. I don't need a ball. And again, remember, I'm looking at the back of the island. I'm not looking at the middle of the island. I spread my feet apart, put my weight on my left foot, go ahead and take that club back. My weight never left my left foot. My weight stayed on my left foot, and I hit that entire island onto the green. Then what I do eventually is I add a ball in. The key is do not look at that ball. You're looking at the back of the island.
Right.
Okay, 2 little things that I also want you to think about. I want you to think about not really using wrists. This is a dead hand swing, very dead hands. Your weight's on your left foot, you're not going to hinge that wrist up, you want a shallow swing. In order to feel that, what I want you to think of is, if you and I are both standing here and we were going to toss someone into a swimming pool, we wouldn't flip them up in the air and slam them down on the side of the pool. What we do is we would use a nice wide stroke. We get them going, the big muscles are working, and we toss them out. That's the same feeling. We're tossing out.
Okay.
Okay, want to try this?
I do.
Okay, I'm going to put a ball into the middle of that island. Now remember, you're not looking at the ball. You're looking at the back of the island. You're going to set your feet up unusually wide. The ball is going to be up in the front of your stance. Good, you're going to open that club. I think I might get a little closer to the ball if I were you.
Me?
Yep. Okay, you're going to be looking at the back of the island. Your weight's on your left foot.
It's on my left?
Yep. You're going to take a nice shallow swing like you're throwing someone into a pool.
Oh!
Excellent, excellent. No, that was great. Good, we missed a little of the island, however.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, here's another thing I want you to think about. You finished a little bit high. What I want you to do when you're done is I want you to imagine that there's a little mirror right on that club, and you're looking at yourself right in that mirror. So take a practice swing doing that. Let me draw another island here. And I want you looking at the back of the island. You have a wide stance, the island's in the front of your stance, and you're going to look at yourself in the mirror when you're done. Excellent. See how that entire island is out?
Yeah.
Still finish maybe a little over your shoulder. You're going to get used to that. We want to throw out.
Right.
We don't want to throw it up.
Okay.
All right? Very good.
Thanks.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes, thank you.